Do any of you know someone who was born somewhere else than where he has to live? Many of us probably do, because these days there are more displaced people in the world than there have been at any other time. I would like to share my story about how, after being forced to leave my homeland, I found ways to strengthen my ethnic identity and connect to my roots. I hope it will help others who find themselves far from home. Imagine a place where 3 generations can spend a week together to celebrate being with their family and their tribe. People who share their language and history, traditions, songs and dances. A phenomenon. A place where a teenager, a 90-year-old, a middle-aged person, and a toddler are all listened to, heard, and know that they belong. A place where they can learn about their ethnic heritage and about each other. There is such a place, and we call it 3x3, symbolizing the 3 generations. And in fact, I started the 3x3 camp movement to help Latvians all over the world to connect, affirm their ethnic identity, and to enjoy being together. I was born in Latvia, a small country in northeastern Europe. Along with my parents and many others, I fled the Soviet occupation in 1944, spent 5 years in refugee camps in Germany, and emigrated to the United States, where I have spent most of my life. But I'm immensely glad that I feel I belong here in Latvia as well. Life in America was hard in the beginning. We had lost everything, including the very identities as the people we used to be. My father was an officer in the Latvian army, but in the United States he became a farm worker whose wages barely earned enough to buy the family groceries. My mother, who had been a clerk in a district court, was a maid on the farm. I went to school, but only because my parents insisted. It was humiliating. I was placed in a grade much below my age level because I couldn't speak English. We felt weird and inferior. Life became easier after we moved to a city where a number of Latvians had settled. My parents had menial jobs, but I continued in school and eventually earned a PhD in counseling. Over time, I held a number of great jobs as a teacher and a counselor, and I no longer felt weird. As a matter of fact, I was proud of being different, being unique. Most of my friends were Latvian, but I had participated in few organized activities in the Latvian community. To tell the truth, I felt like I didn't quite belong there, like I wasn't a good enough Latvian by the standards of the older generation. Because in many respects, my opinions differed from theirs. Eventually, I did find some ways I could contribute by working in the summer high school and some youth seminars. And then, much to my surprise, I was elected to chair the Bureau of Culture in the American Latvian Association. Now I had to do something, but I had absolutely no idea what. I kept thinking of something I had overheard at the Latvian Summer High School in Garozers, Michigan. A mother was berating her teenage daughter, who apparently refused to sing in the choir. Mom said, "All good Latvians sing in the choir." Really? And how did she know this? Her mother had said so. And what was the big deal about being a good Latvian anyway when you lived in America? Although Latvians in diaspora had a number of organizations and activities, I felt that there was room for something else, something new, something different. Not sure I was on the right track. In 1979, I interviewed a number of people, roughly within my own age range, 40 to 55 years old, and asked about their experiences in the Latvian community, what they liked and disliked. It turned out that we had a lot in common. We shared an appreciation of Latvian culture and friendships with other Latvians. We also shared the feeling that some of the traditional activities and some characteristics of Latvians as a group in general tended to discourage our participation. Living in the past, expecting everybody to sing in the choir, or adhering to a rather rigid definition of what the Latvian should be and do, alienated us. I wanted to do something that was fun, that I would truly enjoy, not participate in because I had to be a good Latvian. Such participation had a lot to offer. All of us, especially people who have been forced out of their homes, are better off when we have a sense of connectedness, opportunities to develop strong, stable, lasting, face-to-face relationships, and strong multi-generational family ties. A reference group with shared roots, goals, and values would help meet the need for belonging. And I was convinced that a strong sense of experiential ethnic identity would enrich my life and those of others, as long as it was compelling rather than prescribed. I had a hunch that we had to start with why do it? And there were many whys. To get to know more about our rich cultural heritage, about our history, precarious political situation, in brief, know more about the meaning of being a Latvian, to know more about each other, who we actually were, not who we should be to qualify. I thought that in an informal, non-traditional, fun setting, we could learn from and about each other, regardless of age, educational level, profession, or economic situation. Participating in interactive, educational and recreational activities hopefully would promote thinking about and sharing with others what it meant to one personally to be a Latvian child, parent, and grandparent surrounded by a different culture and language. To think about what were the good and not so good aspects of being a member of the Latvian community. Share how you feel, what you do, and how you do it, how you cope with life in two different cultures and languages, and hopefully discover what it's worth to you to affirm your Latvian identity and feel that you belong to a group of your own people. The more I thought and talked about it, the more carried away I became. And you know what happened? My enthusiasm and belief in the project helped to connect with others who spread the idea further and offered suggestions. In fact, many of them became involved in the development of what we named the Multi-Generational Ethnic Heritage Camp 3x3. So, what is 3x3? It's a week-long camp where you can make a traditional Latvian ring or necklace for your sweetheart, learn how many dainas or folk songs are dedicated to the sun, discuss the current situation in Latvian politics, help draw an animated film, folk dance till dawn, Sing your heart out. Make friends, and watch your children make friends that may last a lifetime, and much, much more. It's where family members who live in different countries can spend quality time together. It's also where you don't have to worry about cooking and cleaning house. Your time is your own to enjoy the activities and each other. 3x3 Camp programs meet the needs of participants by providing various seminars and ethnic crafts workshops for the adults and activities for children of different ages. In the evenings, there are programs and activities for families, folk singing and dancing, as well as time for socializing, playing cards, and whatever else you may want to do. So children, their parents and grandparents, all three generations enjoy camp together. While the organizers come from various backgrounds, the seminar presenters and craftspeople usually are well-known professionals in their fields, chosen not only for their mastery of the subject matter, but also for the ability to present it in an interesting and accessible manner. All the work is done on a volunteer basis. In 1978, I was elected to chair the Council on Education of the World Federation of Free Latvians. And this provided a wonderful opportunity to travel and engage people in different countries that had a sizable Latvian population. The movement rapidly spread from the United States to other countries. Our goals were simple: learning about all things Latvian, strengthening multi-generational family ties, and developing friendship and support networks. Many types of learning could take place, not only about Latvian culture and society, but also about and from each other and about ourselves. 3x3 came about and flourished because it was conceived from the bottom up, by asking people what they want to do and making it clear that it's up to each participant to make the experience meaningful to him or herself. And it means different things to different people. For example, the acclaimed folk musician Ilga Reiznieks says, "It's hard to describe the happiness I feel playing into the early morning hours and seeing the joy and energy of the dancers undiminished." A 90-year-old man from New York who has participated in camps in Latvia for many years says that the people he has befriended there are his family, since he has none other. Families often enthusiastically talk about how sharing experiences at 3x3 camps has helped them to communicate like never before. Teenagers love being allowed to stay up till all hours to folk dance or socialize, as long as they don't oversleep and miss any seminars or workshops the next day. Many camp participants view 3x3 as the opportunity to recharge their Latvian batteries. Currently, there are 8 camps worldwide, 1 in Australia in January, 2 in Latvia in July, 2 in the United States and 1 in Ireland in August, and 2 in July, August in Great Britain. A 9th camp will be joining us in Germany in 2018. So far, now in the spring of 2017, the total count of camps is 232, with over 34,000 participants since the first camp at Garizers, Michigan in 1981. Although no 2 camps are exactly alike, all of them have the same goals and follow the same guidelines. 3x3 was started so that we could learn more about our ethnic heritage and about each other. The informal atmosphere and activity format and the camps foster interaction among people of different age groups, and an understanding that all Latvians are not alike, that they don't all have to sing in the choir. We can learn certain things from our elders, but they have to learn from the younger generations what is important to them, how being Latvian feels to them. I strongly believe that unless there's an understanding and acceptance of the ideas, goals, and values of all age groups, it's impossible to build a strong, vital, sustainable community. With the 3x3 camps, we started a social movement, which grew from a few simple ideas, eventually shared by more and more people. We wanted to have a sense of belonging, a tribe, have fun, learn from and about each other without the barriers that age and background often create. And we found that there are many ways to be Latvian, with or without singing in the choir. It has been a fantastic experience and a great privilege to be able to be part of the 3x3 movement from its inception and to continue coordinating camps in 3 continents and 6 countries. It's great to see that many organizers and presenters of today started their 3x3 experience in a baby carriage. And I'm able to relate to them not as a grandmother, but a person with shared goals, values, and activities, a colleague, an equal. 3x3 continues to evolve as each new generation adds to the concept of what it means to be a Latvian and why it feels great to be one. Paldies!